Hey everyone, it's Maury. As we're inching ever closer to my van build, I wanted to take a moment to give you an overview of what my plan is, how I'm going to assemble the van, what the thought process was for doing it the way that I'm doing it. I've had a lot of people ask me, why did I get rid of the Rialta, or why didn't I do something else? And I wanted to address that here, so that you could understand why I'm building it the way that I am and why I chose this direction in the first place. First and foremost, I wanted something that was going to be functional, but also nice to look at. You know, aesthetics are important as long as they're functional. And I'm going to use some high-end components like the Zen Van's bamboo interior, for instance, but I'm also going to use some minimal, simplistic items like a Coleman camp stove instead of an induction burner or a propane stove or something like that. I'm also not going to have a bathroom in the sense that I'm not going to build in a shower or anything like that. It's a short wheelbase van, and that would be a real challenge to begin with. But I am going to have a portable toilet, and I've actually purchased that already. It's a Thetford 335 portable cassette toilet. And if you've kept up with any of my videos, you know that I'm a big proponent of the cassette toilets for ease of use and convenience. I'm not a big fan of black water, gray water tanks that you have to stop and empty someplace. I really prefer being able to stop at a restroom or a vault toilet or something like that and empty out whatever I happen to have with me. So we'll talk about that later. But the goal here was to have something that was very functional, but also very simple, that would be easy to swap out components for, or if something fails, to easily bring in a replacement instead of having to take things apart completely to make a repair and then reassemble the whole thing. That's also one of the reasons that I'm using the Zen Van's interior. It's built to be modular, so I can take parts out while I'm working on the van. So I could actually install the interior before I put in any of the services, any plumbing, any electrical, and just have cabinetry and a bed, because later on I can unbolt certain pieces or certain wall coverings and get behind the walls and install the rest of those components whenever I feel like it. So there's no real urgency to having everything done all at once. I will do a lot of the wiring and stuff ahead of time because I have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to be doing, but it's not urgent. I don't have to have it finished before I assemble it because it's not something that I have to worry about taking apart. In a traditional RV, if you want to do some work, it's a real process sometimes to get into the walls or into the cabinetry and run any of the wiring or other things that you're trying to do. And I won't have that issue in this van build. That's not to say that I'm going to skimp either. The Zen Van's interior, while beautiful and functional, is not cheap. You get what you pay for. There are other interior kits that you can buy for the Sprinter, or for other vans for that matter, that might cost less, but in my opinion, they definitely don't have the same look and feel and just overall aesthetic that the Zen Van's interior is going to have. So we have that. I will invest in a nice mattress, and I have other components that, you know, they're small dollar items, but I'm still going with the best parts that I can. I have the Havelock wool to put into the walls. For the power system, there's a pretty good chance I'm going to use one of the new Bluetti power stations and wire that into the van systems. And I already have an idea for how I'm going to do that, and we'll talk about that later as well. But again, my goal is for this to be very modular and very functional. That's really all I had today. I just wanted to give you a quick snippet of what we're going to be doing as we get going here. And if you have any questions about what I'm doing along the way, please let me know. But as this starts to go together, I will start posting more videos again. And then at the end, we can talk about, what did it cost? How feasible is it as a build? Remember, I'm using a used van, so I did save money there. And then I'm putting some of that money into the components that go inside it. You could spend a lot of money building a van if you buy a new van and all of the new components and upgraded systems inside. I just didn't want to do that. I wanted to put my focus on something that was affordable but still functional, and at least functional for the way that I use it. So the way that I travel and the way that I use my RVs and vans may not be the same way that you use yours. And I'm also traveling alone, which makes it a lot simpler, especially when there's no bathroom and you have a porta potty. You don't want to be on display. So because I'm by myself, I have a lot of flexibility with how I build the van and how I use it. But again, that might not be how you want to use it. But if anything, you can see what I'm doing and perhaps get some ideas. Maybe it can spark something in your design that you can improve on. Maybe you can share your ideas with me as well. Anyway, that's all I have today. So I will keep you posted. And until next time, as always, have a great day.